Hi everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Yoga with Anna, our midweek reset here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. I'm so happy to be back to slow you down because I'm really good at that and I love that, and that's why they call me the Self Care Doula, because it is when we slow down that we can really bring awarenesses in, nurture ourselves, and take better care of ourselves so that we can nurture and give to others. So here we are filling our cup. I am going to talk about what is going on Saturday and Friday and this weekend. So lots of events going on at the church, and on Friday we are having a shamanic illumination with Sarah Robbins, and it's going to be amazing because this gives you a unique experience with Sarah. Sarah is very gifted and an amazing and wise teacher, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that. Who doesn't want an illumination? And that's how we find our luminous selves. So count me in. Saturday we have DJ Caitlin coming in for Soul Saturday from 12 to 3. So if you are around, come into Soul Saturday. That is our weekend sacrament, our weekly sacrament where we gather as a community and come into the church to listen to some music, gather in community. It's kid-friendly, so if you have kids, don't hesitate, bring them in. We have video games, we have lots of people here to embrace, and it takes a village, and I definitely can account for that. So I'm so grateful for this community and grateful for being here. So usually Sandy is here with me, but I am here on my own today, and I'm grateful to be here and hold this space every week. But I'm not completely alone. I do have Stan behind the camera, which is awesome, and he's the magic man behind the camera. So if you go to pcsam.org, under our events link or our events menu, you can RSVP for any of our events. You can RSVP for Wednesday for the yoga. Tuesdays is Matt's breath work. A new program that we have that has come in is Wednesdays in the evening. So not only on Wednesdays do we have a midweek reset for our mind, body, and soul, but we also have a midweek vibe check. And Matt is also leading that in the evening. So take a look at the website so you can get more information and more details, and especially reserve a spot because we like to know who's coming. And remember that your membership to this organization helps us provide these services for free to members and to our community who really need it. And I think that this organization is so special because it does bring in lots of different healers and talent to come in to provide really nurturing support for our community and for those who need it, or maybe you don't think you need it and you want to come check it out anyway. So all of your donations, your memberships, all go to supporting the community. So that is part of our mission, and raising the vibration is super important. So coming to the mat or chair, we're going to raise our vibration by balancing our bodies through a slow yoga practice. So why do we slow down? Why is it uncomfortable to slow down? So what I wanted to touch on today was I've been doing meditation for a while, and it's an ebb and flow of consistency, inconsistency, just because life happens, and finding a way to meditate the traditional way has become very challenging. So I find ways outside of the traditional meditation box to bring meditation into my life so that I can feel better, I can bring in more clarity, more awareness, and bring more health benefits to my life, because meditation is a huge health benefit, and I think that will be another class where I will talk about some of the benefits of meditation. But what I really want to touch on is the discomfort of slowing down. So a lot of us have, experienced trauma or are going through challenging times. And one of the ways that we avoid sitting with our stuff is by keeping ourselves busy. And sometimes we don't even realize that we are keeping ourselves so busy. We're just kind of in that default mode where we're going, going, going. And this is a time also where we want to say yes to everything, going to events and helping family and things like that, kids' events, the Christmas concert, things like that. And not that you would say no to that, but being discerning about your availability, and it's okay to say no to some things, to allow more spaciousness. So that's what this practice, the purpose of this practice is to not only keep you healthy physically and also regulate your nervous systems, but also a way for you to observe and sit in your own stuff so that your body can process and heal. And for me personally, sometimes keeping the way that I have been keeping busy makes me, sometimes you come into this place of discomfort but you still keep going. So even though your body's saying, oh, you're doing too much, well, your mind is saying, I got to keep going, going, going. And then life happens and you get sick, or something happens where life puts the brakes on you. So one of the observances that came in recently in tapping into meditation again, because there's just too many benefits to not do it, and it's definitely something that I want to cultivate in my life, is the awareness of keeping busy to unconsciously avoid sitting in your own stuff. Now, we can say, I am just busy, busy, busy. I have a tight schedule. But the reality is, when you tap into the discomfort of your busyness, is what else is going on, and taking a look at the bigger picture. One of the most amazing things I heard recently was we observe things through a particular lens, and we observe things through, sometimes we don't stop and take a look at the bigger picture or why we are responding or reacting or behaving in this way. And one, sometimes it could be something that you don't want to sit with. Two, we are using the perspective of all these lenses of our past experiences to look into the perspective of what we're presently looking at. So however we react or respond is really a ricochet of all of these experiences that have come up to this point. So meditation and this practice takes you into a shift where you begin to look at those things. Maybe you didn't want to look at them before, but these are things that don't necessarily define you, but they are perspectives of how you are seeing things and knowing how you can see things differently and much more clearly when you begin to sift and shift through these lenses, take a look at these observances and be like, oh, well, I didn't realize that I was going there, or I was reacting this way because of this, so now I'm going to do something different. So it's a matter of the awareness coming in, that mindfulness, and then the action to take in order for you to change your patterns. And it's constant work, because patterns are patterns, and they're challenging to break, but they are breakable. And this is one way that we can work on ourselves in order to break certain patterns in our life. So let's sit with that for a little bit and begin to feel the breath flow in and out the nose, inviting you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And noticing how I'm moving my body as I'm closing my eyes and inviting you to do the same is basically a way for me to just become aware of how my body is feeling in space and what it's going to do or what movement it's going to do in order for it to settle into stillness. Noticing how the breath is coming in through the nose and out the nose. And acknowledging that also when you sit in stillness or come into quieting the mind, that it's okay to feel the discomfort that may come in, the thoughts that come in. That is all the process of noticing, of breathing, of meditation, of your own practice. That is part of the process. As you sit in stillness and breathe in, lengthening through the crown of the head and drawing the shoulders down towards the earth. Also noticing how your palms may feel against your lap, maybe the warmth, the temperature around your body. Noticing what you're tensing in the body as you're seated. And kind of doing a quick scan of your body just to notice where you might be holding some tension and relaxing those areas with the breath. Take a moment here to come into your intention for your practice today. Inviting you to take a deep breath in with me and an exhale, and swallowing at the back of our throats and fluttering our eyes open. Let's begin to circle the body around, just gentle movements. And then take it in the opposite direction. And then from here, let's inhale the arms up. And gentle touch or tap of the hands, and exhale, bring the palms down to the heart center. Press the palms firmly together, another deep breath in as the palms rise above the head. And exhale, pressing everything away. Inhale, palms rise. Palms touch, palms come to heart. And once again, inhaling, reaching up. This time, separate the arms, palms facing each other. Take that right hand to the left wrist, and let's lengthen that left arm to the sky on the in-breath, and on the exhale, take a little arch over to the right side. Come back to center, release the hands, and opposite hand, left hand to right wrist, lengthen on the in-breath. Feel that stretch on the right side body, and then arch over. And then gently coming back to center, releasing the hands and gently rotating the wrists and floating those arms down. Releasing the hands, and let's roll the shoulders. So if you're uncomfortable, you can uncross your legs and switch sides, or you can find your sweet seat, whatever works for you to get more comfortable. Let's get into the neck and the shoulders. Let's take that right ear to the right shoulder. Extend that left arm out. Allow the fingertips to gently touch your mat or the earth. Press the heart forward, pull the navel in. And then notice if you're reaching that shoulder towards the ear, and relax that shoulder. Allow the ear to travel there, not your shoulder. Left hand comes back, take the gaze back to center, and left ear to left shoulder. Extend that right hand out, fingertips touching the earth. Breathing normally. Pressing the heart forward. Maybe inching that ear a little bit closer and just noticing where you're finding that stretch on the right side of the neck. Come back to center. Hand comes back. Let's do a circle to shift the body and come back around and back to center. Let's take the gaze over to the right side and take the nose and chin towards the shoulder. A little nod. Again, extend that left arm out and notice where you feel the stretch. And stop where you want to hold that stretch to ease through that tightness that you're feeling. Allow that left hand to float back to the lap. Nice deep breath in. Lower the nose. Bring it across the chest. We come up the other side. And then from here, take the nose again and the chin to the shoulder, the left shoulder. Extend that right arm out. Just to notice where you feel that stretch. Maybe take a nod. Maybe you want to walk your fingers back. Just exploring where you're feeling tension and releasing by holding and breathing through that tension. Right arm comes back. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, lower the nose and chin. Bring it up to the other side. And head comes back to center. Let's take little circles with our nose for gentle cervical spine movement. And take it in the opposite direction. Come to stillness, back to center, and let's take the chin to chest. Bringing the head back to center. Let's take a Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. Bring the soles of the feet together. You can take a bind here and allow the legs to flutter. Nice deep breath in, coming back to stillness, lengthening through the crown. Pulling the navel in, and then exhale, hinging over gently, keeping the length in the spine. Shoulders draw away from the ears. And then the elbows can either drape in front of the shins, or you can use the elbows to gently press the legs away. And release, come all the way up, knees come up, and let's take our tabletop position. All right, so let's stack the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. An option for you, if you want to get a nice stretch in your feet, you can curl the toes under or keep the feet flat, all up to you. And let's begin by gentle movement side to side. Circle the hips. And opposite direction. And come to center. Let's warm up our spine. On the in-breath, let's lower the belly to the earth. Take the gaze up to the sky and tilt the tail up. Exhale, chin to chest. Round in, tucking the tail. Inhale, drop the belly. Take the gaze up, tilt the tail up. Exhale, rounding in, flexing the spine, maybe pressing the mat away. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, rounding in. And take a few more breaths here with your movement. Taking the time to warm up your back. Flow with your breath. Inhaling as you extend. Exhaling as you round in. And then gently coming back to center. From here, let's extend that right leg back, toes ground in, press the heel back. Pull the navel in, gazing at the top of your mat. Lift that leg up, point the toes down, bend the knee, flex the foot, and rotate the hip. And then take it in the opposite direction. Extend that leg long, toes point down, reach that leg back, extend that left arm forward. Reach in opposite directions, pull the navel in, toes still point down. Maybe we want to take it a little further. You do bend the knee, reach back as you flip that left palm and reach back for that foot or ankle. As you do this, if you're taking the bind, gently press the foot into the hand. That left shoulder opens. You take a little arch, mini back bend of the spine. And release gently, going back the way we came in, so extending the limbs in the opposite direction and then gently coming back to our tabletop. So in yoga, always stepping into a posture and stepping out of a posture the same way you came in. Extend that left leg back, ground the toes, press the heel. Lift that leg up, toes point down, bend the knee, flex the foot, and rotate the hip. And when you're ready, rotate it in the opposite direction. Extend long, toes point down, opposite arm reaches forward. So you're reaching and extending that leg. Pull the navel in, stabilize your balance. If you're going to reach, flip the palm, reach back for that foot, and then press the foot into the hand, opening up that right shoulder. Remember to breathe and release, extending opposite directions and coming back to your table. Shift back and forth or circle the hips. And then from here, let's take a puppy dog pose. So extending the arms forward. Option to tent the fingers as you shift the hips back, or hands can be flat. I'm going to curl my toes under, so that's an option for you as well. Just to feel the stretch in the feet and the toes. Allow the heart to gently sink towards the earth. And then walk the hands back to your tabletop. From here, let's take a wide-legged child's pose. Take the knees to the width of the mat. Allow the toes to touch, creating space for the body as you shift the hips back and begin to lower the body, reaching your arms forward, lowering the head all the way down to the mat. And if you're straining in your neck and your shoulders, you can support your head with a block. Otherwise, gently bring it down towards the earth. If the third eye is touching the mat, you can give a little massage to stimulate the third eye. Breathing into the hips as you gently press the mat away and press the hips back towards the heels. A few deep breaths here. Feel the back of the rib cage expand with that deep breath. Maybe you want to feel your hips and gently shifting back and forth. Let's walk the hands to the right side, maybe layering that left palm over the right hand and gently stretching that left side body. Inhale, come back to center and walk the hands all the way over to the left side. Maybe that right palm layers on top of the left hand. Feel that right side body stretch by grounding that right hip towards that right heel. Inhale, come back to center, take another bow, and then bring the hands into prayer position, palms touch. Bend the elbows, bring those prayer hands to the mid-shoulders for a nice little bicep stretch. Tri-stretch and walk the elbows forward to deepen the stretch, reach those hips back. Release the hands, bring them back down to the mat, and gently lifting your head and your body, walking your hands back, bring the knees back, hip distance apart, and come back to your table. Let's curl the toes under, come into a down dog. Lift the hips high, adjust your feet, and then gently begin to get into the back body by walking, lifting one heel after the other. Press the heart towards the thighs, gazing between the ankles. Inner elbows turn in to face each other. Press through the hands, but alleviate the pressure from the wrist by lifting the heels up and pressing the heart towards the thighs. Lift the heels high, bend the knees, take a hover a few inches above the mat. Pull the navel in, and then press back to your down dog. Walk your dog again. And then from here, let's gently walk our hands towards our feet. Come to the back of the mat for a forward fold. Let's ragdoll here. Maybe taking an elbow to elbow bind. Sway the body. Release the arms. Or if you're in that bind or not, take a sway of the body. Pulling the navel in as you gently reach the crown towards the earth. Inhale, hands come to the shins, coming to your half lift. And let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Allow the palms to touch and palms come to heart. Inhale, palms rise. Reach up, reach back, tone the legs, press the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold, releasing the palms at the bottom of the fold. Bend one knee after the other in your forward fold. And then from here, we're going to plant the palms in front of us and walk the hands forward towards the top of the mat and come to plank. You can also come to a modified plank by lowering the legs. Press through the heels, pull the navel in, and then walk the hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, plant the palms and walk the hands forward. Back underneath the shoulders for your plank. One more. Walk the hands towards your feet. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift, and then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Tone the legs, palms touch, palms come to heart. Standing mountain, arms by your side. Let's bring the shoulders back, rolling them back. Let those scapulas slide down. Tone the legs, pulling the quads up, kneecaps lift. Gazing forward, slightly tucking the chin, pulling the navel in and up. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, bending one knee after the other, walking in place. Arms around the backs of the legs, maybe taking a bind there, or just reaching behind you for a deeper forward fold. Bend the knees as much as it feels good. Release the bind if you've taken it. And from here, a nice lift, hands on the shins, pulling the navel in, lengthening through the crown. Another deep breath in as we root to rise, come all the way back up. Inhale, palms rise. Reach back, press the hips forward. From here, hands cup to the heart. All right, so we're going to do a little balancing. We're going to shift the weight over to that left side, strong standing leg, and that right leg is going to come up. You're going to take the right leg and squeeze it in. From here, that left arm is going to come out. And there's your balance. You can take a little mudra if you'd like. And taking the thumb and the index finger together. Bring it back. And then bring it out. Bring it over that left arm. Bring it back. Bring it back in. And release. So notice that I'm not moving my eyes around. I'm staying nice and focused so you stabilize your balance and work on your focus. All right, so other side. Coming into that right leg, shifting the weight there, bringing that left leg up. Take a nice squeeze of the leg. Open up that right arm, so strong standing leg. Bringing that arm back in. Bring it back out. And it's okay to wobble out. Just get back in. Bring that arm over the head. And then bring it back down. Float it back. We'll do that one more time. Flex the foot. Another thing to think about. And then we lower that arm. Bring it back. Squeeze in and release. Hands on the hips for a little hip hip circles to loosen up the hips. And we come back to our standing mountain. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, float down for your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant those palms, heel toe those feet out to the width of the mat. And take a low squat coming into Malasana. And you can use a block here to support your squat by sitting on something. And it's okay if the hips are tight and you're here, that's okay. Elbows come to the insides of the legs, lengthening through the crown, and placing some pressure from the arms into the inner legs, creating some resistance. Maybe taking a sway side to side. And if you want to play with the hands and shift forward, you can bring the hands down and gently come to the toes and lift the hips, just to notice how that feels. In yoga and postures, there are always transitions. So this placement of the hands and gently moving forward, shifting forward, is another transition into another posture. But it's also beneficial to move the body in such a way. All right, so from here, hands come in front of us, and then we're going to gently lift the heels up, hips up, heel toe the feet back. And from here, let's gently bring the knees down to the earth, to the mat, and come to your tabletop. Nice deep breath in, curl the toes under, shift to down dog. And from here, shifting forward, coming into a plank or modified plank. We're going to come all the way down to our bellies, to the mat. So take a moment here, bring the arms forward into a little Sphinx pose, and gently separate the legs maybe to the width of the mat and shift the hips back and forth. Taking Sphinx pose, since we're already here, you can leave the legs where they are, or you can bring them in to zip in. And on the inhale, the heart is going to reach forward, gaze forward, shoulders back, and breathe. Press all 10 toes in. And release. Gently shift into a dolphin pose. So it's basically downward facing dog. We're going to curl the toes under and lift the hips up. And then shift forward to a plank and lower, going into baby cobra. Hands underneath the shoulders. So aligning the hands, tucking the elbows, chin to the mat. And a nice deep breath in to press all 10 toes in. Tone the legs as you lift the heart, shoulders back. Nice deep breath in and out the nose as you lift and then release gently, lowering. Taking that left cheek to the mat. And then chin comes back to center. A nice deep breath, press all 10 toes in, tone the legs, lift the heart, slide the heart forward, shoulders back, tuck the elbows, and lower. Right cheek to the mat. All right, little back strengtheners here. So this might feel a little uncomfortable, and you do what you're comfortable with. We're going to do a little back strengthening. So we're going to start off with full locust. And we're going to bring our arms by our sides. On the inhale, everything's going to lift off of the mat. Nice deep breath in. Everything lifts. Legs lift, arms lift, everything. And lower. Left cheek to the mat. Bring the chin back to center. On the next breath, again, everything lifts. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs. Arms lift. Arms can come out. Arm back. And lower. Right cheek to the mat. Okay, so this is what may feel uncomfortable. And you do what is comfortable for you. So I'm going to bring my arms underneath my body. Palms are flat. So notice this is opening up the front of the shoulders, or the backs of the shoulders, excuse me. And allow your pinkies to touch. So hands are nice and wide underneath the body. Chin is to the mat. And beautiful back strengthener here. We're going to inhale and lift the legs up off the mat. Doesn't matter how high, it's just strengthening the lower back. And you can strengthen the lower back just by gently lifting the legs up just a few inches or lift them higher. So on the inhale, legs are going to lift. The weight is going to shift forward. And you're going to lift the legs all the way up as high as you can and lower. Unwind the arms, bring them by your side. Left cheek to the mat. Notice that the heart rate is up. So this is a beautiful way to bring up your heart rate. Chin back to the mat. Arms underneath the body. Let the pinkies touch. Nice deep breath in. Lift the legs. Shift the weight forward. And lower. Release the arms. Right cheek to the mat. So this posture is uncomfortable, but it's so good for your back. And it's okay to, again, sit in that discomfort because your body's processing it. All right, so hands underneath the shoulders. Let's tuck the toes under. Gently lift the body back to a tabletop. And from here, let's gently curl the toes under again. Come to a down dog. Inhale, right leg up. And then see if you can bring that left heel to the mat, bend the knee, bring it all the way through, low lunge. Lower that left knee. Arms are going to come up and reach back. From here, let's gently open up to the left side. Reach back with that left arm, lowering the left. Come back to open to the left side, and then gently coming back and reaching back, and then lower those arms down. Bracket that front foot. That right arm's going to come up. You're welcome to take a balancing pose here, or you could take it with that knee down. Lower that right arm down. From here, that back foot is going to meet the front and come to a forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant those palms. Step back with both feet. Modified plank or plank, all up to you. Inhale, come to your down dog. And then inhale, left leg rises. Bend the knee and bring it all the way through the lunge. Drop that right knee. Inhale, arms come up, reach back. Exhale, open up to the right side. Inhale, reach back with that left arm over the left ear. Still facing the right side. Coming back to arms open and gently coming back with the arms up and reaching back. Exhale, float the arms down, bracket that front foot, and then opening up to that left side. Again, you can take that balancing pose if you'd like. You can even take that arm back if you'd like, so it makes it a little bit more of a twisty. And then gently float the arms down. So those are all options. No requirements here. Okay, so the only requirement is proper alignment, keeping you safe. All right, so let's bring that back foot forward and come to a forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and let's root to rise. Come all the way back up, palms touch, palms come to heart, and then let's reach up, arms parallel to the ears, sit in your chair, shift the weight to the heels, tuck the tail, gazing forward, sitting lower, lifting the heart, using your breath here, with the lips sealed, breathing through the nose, and gentle forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and let's root to rise. Come all the way back up, arms parallel to the ears. Second set, sit in your chair. Tuck the tail, pull the navel in, lift the chest, gaze forward, shift the weight to the heels, ground those toes, and sit a little lower. Use your breath. And gentle forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, let's plant those palms, step back with both feet. Come to a modified plank. Shift the hips back as you uncurl the toes and walk the hands towards your knees. Shift to one side, swing the legs around, and shift to the center of the mat. All right, so another little balancing pose here. Going into a boat pose, reaching those arms forward, taking a lean on the back of those sits bones. So notice as you shift forward, that's the front of the sits bones. Shifting back is feeling the back. So familiarize yourself with how that feels. And then we're going to lean back as we reach forward and begin to tap. So if you could get into boat pose right away, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, to begin, you can tap until you feel that sense of balance, and then parallel the feet, the legs. You can also extend the legs, breathing. And then lowering and bringing everything back down. Hands beside you, feet to the width of the mat. You can bring the arms behind you and gently windshield wiper back and forth. Arms by your side, scooting forward and reaching forward and using your core to gently lower back down. Slowly, head comes down last. Bring your knees into the chest and rock side to side. Extend that left leg, squeeze in that right knee, flex both feet. Shoulders back, chin slightly tucked. Going into a twist, taking that right knee to the left side, extend that right arm out, and take the gaze to the right side. Coming back to center. Let's take a full body stretch. Extend the legs, arms over the head. Reach for that left knee. Squeeze in, flex both feet. And then guide that knee across the body to the right side. Extend that left arm out and take the gaze to the left side. Bringing it back to center. Squeeze in both knees. And then from here, gently bringing those feet to the mat. Take the arms over the head. Take a little bind elbow to elbow. And maybe take the feet into a butterfly position. Soles of the feet come together. You can even flutter the legs. Or you can even take the arms into a cactus position. Then gently bringing the knees back up and arms by your side. From here, coming into a bridge position, walk your feet towards your buttocks. Maybe graze those fingers. And on the inhale, we're going to gently lift the hips, chest travels to the chin, and the arms are going to come over our head. On the exhale, everything's going to come down, hips are going to lower, arms are going to lower. Inhale, we're going to do 4 more of these. Lift everything up, arms over the head, lifting the hips, and exhale, let the breath guide you. Come all the way down, lowering everything. 3 more. Inhale, arms reach up, above the head, hips lift, and exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Lift and exhale, lower. All right. Legs to the sky. Soles of the feet face the sky. So you can take a supported legs up the wall position by placing the block underneath your sacrum or lower back. Just where it's comfortable for you, and you can take a supported lift of the legs. Now from here, maybe you want to take a shoulder stand, and you can do that by lifting the hips, taking the hands to the lower back, and lifting the legs to the sky. And then if you want to take plow, and this is using the control of your abdominals and taking the feet, I know it sounds funny, taking the feet over your head. Maybe the toes touch the floor. Press the heels away. Maybe if you want, you can take a bind. And then release. So everything's step by step. If you didn't take this position, this posture, then you just have your legs up to the sky, and that's okay. All right, so from here, we're going to controlled lift our legs using, again, our abdominals to lift the weight of our legs. Chest moves towards the chin as you come back to that shoulder stand. And and controlled, the way I like to lower is hinging my hips, releasing my lower back, and taking my lower back to the mat. So I come back to legs up the wall. So same way you come in, same way you leave the posture. And then you can bend the knees and lower the feet all the way to the mat. Shift the knees side to side. Take a full body stretch and arms by your side. We have come to our final Shavasana, and you are more than welcome to stay there as I gently shift myself out, shift myself into a seated position so that we can seal class together. But by all means, please stay in Shavasana as long as you like to rest your body and absorb all of the benefits of this practice. Hands are going to come to my heart. And to seal class today, join me in bringing your prayer hands, if you're seated, to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts. May they be divinely guided. To our lips to speak kind words. May they be divinely guided. To our hearts to remember to live life fully with love, joy, inner strength, courage, lots of grace. And may our hearts and actions be divinely guided. From my heart to yours, always taking a bow to you. Namaste.